Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's session of the Wavy Tunnel Pro dashboard, swing trade setups for the week of July 13th. Please read the disclaimer. It's very important to understand that you need to practice with a demo or a paper trading account with any new concept or strategy until you really get to know and understand the risk and reward potential. This is the scanner, and if you don't already have the scanner, please watch the walkthrough video at wavytunnelpro.com/dashboard or scan the QR code to get there. Scan, spot, strike, your precision engine for finding opportunities across stocks, ETFs, futures, forex, and crypto. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to find some opportunities right from the scanner. So weekly routine, for the first time, create your watch list and set up your email alerts. And then weekly, check the updated Breakout 4 watch list. You can do this on the daily, on the weekly. You can do longs, shorts. Today, I've scanned for weeklies and daily longs. And then you can check the symbols one at a time and narrow it down to a hot list. I've done that for you. I've narrowed it down to 30 from about 60 or 70, and we are going to go through some of them. And then you can write notes on the symbols that show potential and create a trade plan for a handful of symbols. So you can buy the stock, buy the call, sell the put, buy the vertical. These are for longs. And then you execute the trade. So this is based on the market map. This is the market map, and the Breakout 4 trade lives right here. After we've had a strong impulsive uptrend, we have a pullback, and this can be a strong ABC pullback. It can be more of a sideways pullback. Bottom line is that it comes back into the tunnel, which you will see. And down here, this is where the markets tend to get fearful. They tend to panic and to be discouraged and bail. And this is a time to seriously consider buying after a strong pullback. Now, this is a zigzag correction, but there are other types of corrections, as I mentioned. So this is what it looks like on the chart, where we have an ABC zigzag correction into or below the tunnel. And this is our Breakout 4 trade. So this mimics the 8-wave market cycle. You can see that it mimics the 8-wave market cycle. And these are the types of trades that you can take, just to review, for long bullish positions on the Breakout 4 setup. You can buy the stock, especially if the stock price is low. You can buy the call. You can do a bull call spread. You can sell a cash secured put or a bull put credit spread. These are the ways that you can take your long trades, your bullish trades. All right, let's get to the dashboard scanner now. I wanted to start on the ETF. So this, if you just click on here, you can sort by NASDAQ stocks, S&P stocks, S&P 500 sectors. So for example, if we go to NASDAQ, these are the NASDAQ 100. We can sort by year-to-date returns, and you can see that we have had some stellar performances. And these show you the highest returns year-to-date. So the stellar performances: Micron Technology, Western Digital Corporation, Seagate Technology Holdings, huge gains, double, Intel. ARM Holdings. So these are huge returns. If we go to the S&P 500, so this would be 500 stocks. We can also sort by year to date. Also, same stellar returns, same stocks, because these stocks are in both indices, right? And then you get Dell, okay, as well. So sometimes I look at that. And now if we go to the S&P 500 sectors, these are the different sectors that make up the S&P. And on the right, I'm going to put today's market on it. I'm going to go to chart, dual chart view, link symbol, live chart below, because I want to see how the price action moved since the open. Remember, this is the end of day data. So this is from Friday's close. And it doesn't update until tonight, Monday night. So we won't see the price action until Monday night. But if I put down the live market data underneath, then I'll be able to see the price action. So for example, this is SMH. It's not on here. I was looking at the semiconductors because that's been largely talked about last week when we had the sell-off and then we had the pullback. So this is where we closed at 611, and this is where we are right now, 592. So we're down from the close, right? We're down. This was the close, and then we opened, and here we are. So we gapped lower, we opened lower. But I wanted to look at the spider sectors. So these are sorted by year-to-date returns. We could also sort by daily returns. So we can see how the week ended up, okay? Last week on Friday, it was just the 1 day return from Friday. And XLB materials outperformed everything. That's how you look at it. And if we look at the weakest performing, it would have been healthcare. So, but on balance, all of the indices were up. Now, why don't we take a look at the year-to-dates? So the two indices that are down year-to-date are going to be the communication services and consumer discretionary. You can see that year-to-date return. And then if I filter for the highest returns first, the highest return is still the technology stocks, 27.57%. So here we go. I have the technology stocks here. And I tend to, when I look at the breakout 4 trades and we come up with our watch list, I want to see what the underlying is doing, what the index is doing for that particular sector, or what the sector is doing for that stock. So here we see that we are down a little bit. Technology is down a little bit. I'm looking at the live market feed down below, right? So we're trading at 182.57 currently, and we closed at 185.78. So that's how you can tell what the market is doing, or you can go to your trading view charts or any other live charts that you use. But this is how I do it. I look at the current pricing, and it automatically goes to the hourly, but certainly you can look at the 1 minute, the 5 minute. You can't get the wavy tunnel on here, but you can look at any time frame that you want. So this is a fully functional trading view for live data. If we look at energy, which is the next highest performing sector at 23.17%, well, interesting, because we did a beautiful breakout 4 trade right here. Not we, I mean, the setup was a beautiful breakout 4 setup right here. And then we just bounced off of that level. We moved up, we came down, and look what we did. We gapped higher. Okay, we gapped higher. So the market closed at 55.08 on Friday. We're currently trading at 56.42. We gapped higher on the weekend news. So all of the energy positions should be doing well. Okay. All right, let's get to the scanner itself. As I mentioned to you, I scanned for the breakout 4 dailies and weeklies, and I set it up under 713 swing trades, daily and weekly longs. I'm going to share it with you right now. Forgot to share it yesterday, sharing it with you right now. And we're going to have a look at that. Okay, so I told you that I got 30. Here we have 30 stocks to look at. So let's look at them together. And I also made sure that they were all optionable. That's the other thing. So they're all optionable. So I'm going to get rid of this column so we can see the actual breakout for trade. I'm also going, we have this sector here. We have the daily percentage. I'm going to get rid of some of these so we can see what we're looking at. I'm going to get rid of the name because I want to see more and the optionable, because we know that they're optionable. All right, great. So now we can see the breakout for daily and the breakout for weekly. We can see the daily trend and the weekly trend. Now, all of these breakout for dailies have the weekly trend and the daily trend is up. That's one of the conditions that I set. I want to make sure that we're in uptrends on the weekly if we're going to be buying the daily, for example. Okay. Now, if we have the weekly, as a breakout for, then most likely the daily will either be down or sideways. It's just the way it is because the weekly has had a very significant retracement. So the daily will be bearish initially, okay, for this trade. So let's start with the breakout for dailies. And here we are. This looks really, really nice, doesn't it? We closed at 802. And right now we're trading lower 787. So this is a very expensive stock. Very expensive stock. Okay, maybe not one to take. I just got rid of the wave and the tunnel. I just got rid of the, here, let me show you what I did. Down here we have the awesome oscillator and the bungees. If I click on this, then I can maximize the price pane. And that's what I've done. I just want to see the price at the moment. And if I want to see the full chart, I can bring that back and look at the full chart. Okay. Yeah, this is a really, really bullish stock. Beautiful. It just, yeah, it went up quite a lot in the last several years, like 8 times. Okay. 8 times. Can you imagine? So it looks good. It looks beautiful. This is your ideal roadmap where we have a very strong trend and we have a beautiful correction. And because these semaphores go from purple to gray to yellow to red and blue, we can see a beautiful 3-wave move down. Purple, red, red, gray. This is a beautiful 3-wave move down into the tunnel. So, but we're not going to act on this. It's very expensive. Let's go to the next one. Oh, and by the way, that was up 111% for the year already. This one, DAR, Darling Ingredients, is up 67.81% for the year. This signal occurred 9 candles ago, so it's not going to be one. Let's just open it up wide. Yeah. That's when it first came out. That was a beautiful trade and also a low price stock. Wow. It's up 20% since we got the signal. And that was on June 24th. Well, no, the signal is when we close above the filter. So that would have been here on June 30th. That was the signal. The ready is on June 24th. This was the ready, June 24th. Wow. Also a beautiful looking chart. Beautiful looking chart. Why? Because the way we've been in an uptrend for a long time, and this is a beautiful three-wave correction down into the tunnel. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Wow. I'm going to show you something else. Let me move this over here. Whoops. So I can, yeah, let me just get rid of this. I want to show you something else. Dual chart view. I'm getting rid of the dual chart view so I can just show you the daily. And I just clicked on a different symbol. So let me get back to DAR. But this is another beautiful chart. Okay. What I want to show you is I want to run the Fibonacci. Oh, it's back again. Okay. There. I want to run the Fibonacci from this high to this low and show you something. Fibonacci retracement from this high to this low, because that's something that you can always do. As we break above certain levels, you want to take note. So the first level is the 23.6. We broke above it. That's our move into the wave. And then the 38.2. Notice how price bounces off of it, right? These levels work. And then there's the 50%. That was the top of this day. And then this is the 61.8. This is a very key level because we're pausing here. But if we start to trade above this 61.8, well, what's next? 78.6. So even though this was technically a breakout 4 trade, I kept it in here to show you that we don't have to just buy down here. We can buy as we make new price highs, because this is looking very healthy. Like we could actually go above the 100, retest the previous high. Yeah. Yeah, retest the previous high. And there are other levels after one, other Fibonacci levels, 1.13, 1.272. Those are the levels that I look for. So this is one definitely to keep an eye out on. Yeah. Okay, let's go back and look at a few of the others. Here's an energy one. It's up 56%. So this is another one. It occurred 4 candles ago where we went above the filter. When you have an up arrow, that indicates, here, I'm going to show you, that indicates buy signal. So we have buy ready, sell ready, buy signal, sell signal. On these scans, we are looking at buy ready and buy signal. The buy readies, sorry, the buy signals are up arrows. It means that we've closed above the 12 EMA here. The buy readies are the diamonds. It means that this is diamond 4. It means that we haven't crossed the filter yet, but we are 4 candles after the ready, after the breakout 4 ready. All right, here we are again. So we want to run the Fibonacci tool again. And this is also not such an expensive stock. We're going to run it and see how it is progressing. So it's, yeah, you see how, wow, you see how at the 38.2, it came back down, it reversed, it hit the 23.6 again, and then bounced. And here we have gone through the 50%. We've gone through the 50%, and now we're approaching the 61.8. So watch these levels, like watch the 61.8. If we break above it, then it's likely that we can trade higher. to the next resistance level. So this was also a good trade. We had a beautiful ABC. So also a good trade. Okay. Let's look at, but that's gone, it's gone a bit far. That's why I'm showing you additional levels to look at for a continuation. Here's another one. Yeah. CF Industries. Okay. I can draw the Fibonacci here as well and see where we are. We're early. I mean, it's still early. We're at the 38.2 right now. So a close above this could be a trade for the next target, 50%, 61.8. And then you want to just really wait until we break above 61.8, because typically when you have a correction, it usually goes between 38.2 and 50%, right? If we're going to make a new low, if we're going to roll over and make a new low. But if we show strength through 50% and then 61.8, that's a good healthy sign. Okay, let's look at the next one. And I'm going to put back the live markets, dual chart view. Right, and I am going to get rid of the bungee and the awesome oscillator for now. So here, 116.92, we're already at 121. Wow. Okay, so 121, there we are, 50%. We've already broken through the 50. We've broken through this. We gapped higher. We broke through this level, and we are right at the 50% mark. That's where we are. So this one looks good. Yeah. Okay. Let's try the next one. The next one is a diamond. So this is a ready. We did not cross above the filter. Didn't have the momentum yet to break through the filter, but it will today on tonight's close. Why? Because the current price is trading at 56 and we closed at 55.57. So this is an energy stock, and this is with the energy stocks up today. It's no surprise that this is also going to be up today. Okay, so this is going to show an up arrow 1 tonight. So this could be interesting. Let's have a look to see what it looks like. Yeah, I mean, we're up quite a lot for the year already. This is 2026. So we were up even more, and then we had this correction. And this is a beautiful uptrend, beautiful uptrend. This downtrend, I don't see a three-wave move. The reason why I kept this on here is because we just wicked higher over here. So literally this from this peak, there is such a thing as an ABC pattern where B goes above the start of the move. So I'm looking at this as the first move down, and then for an A, and then a B, and then a C. So still a three-wave pattern, even though the purple is over here and it's not over here. It's because we made a new high above this. So I still like this pattern. I hope I explained myself properly on that. Yeah. So that's nice. But really the big question is, what is energy going to do? What are, energy prices going to do? Because if they move up or stabilize or, then these stocks will be supported. And if they start to trade down, then these stocks will not be supported and we will continue on down. So that's the key. What is energy? What are energy prices going to do? What is crude going to do? What is inflation going to do? And tomorrow we get CPI, Wednesday we get PPI, very, very important numbers for inflation. The Fed is going to carefully look at that because what is the prognosis for interest rate hikes this year? Well, I didn't look today, but last I looked, which was Friday, the prognosis was for one rate hike or two rate hikes into year end. Let's look at the next one. AEIS. And if you have any questions, by the way, as I'm going along, please ask your questions and I'll answer them. Let me open up the chat and see if we do have any questions. Okay, no questions. All right, AEIS is an industrial. It's up 42.85% for the year. There are options on it. It's 3 candles since we had the gray semaphore. 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3. You can see that. So we haven't crossed above the filter yet. This is an expensive stock. We're down for the day, $8. Let's just have a look. Yeah, I mean, this is a very, very strong uptrend. And then we had a beautiful correction. But this is really it's an interesting correction because we came down to the tunnel. We have purple, red, red. We failed to make a new high and we came down again. So this is interesting. This is really a sideways kind of market. And we have to watch this level, which means that if you do take these trades, your stop is always going to be below this, right? That's your stop. That's your risk. And that's how you have to determine. So right now we're trading at, we just broke below 300 and the low was, let's look to see what the low was, 279.38. So yeah, roughly 280. So we've got to hold the 280. Otherwise, this will move to the right. We will trade lower. All right, let's look at the next one, APA. I like this one. I kind of messed up with this one in the sense that when I looked, I wanted to buy this one again, but we gapped higher today, so I'm not in it. But what I did with this one was I sold puts at 32.50, sold puts at 32.50, and we went up to 35, and that was my plan, to sell it at 35, but I didn't have the order in because I got put at 32.50. I got my shares. I was long at 32.50, and I was going to sell them out at 35. Like I got long at 32.50. The low was, what was the low? 31.77. I didn't buy them on this date. The low was, after I bought them, was 32.09. Yeah. So my plan was to sell them out at 35, but I didn't have the order in. Anyway, I sold them out at 34. And then we went down to 33, and I said, all right, that's it. I made the money, it's fine. But then I looked at this and I said, it's probably a good one to get into again, except now we're trading higher. So I'm not going to do it right now. I'm gonna wait and see what happens. But let's have a look at this and let's see if it is a nice trade or not. Well, this is a beautiful, beautiful uptrend. And then this is a beautiful, beautiful correction. Very sideways in here, and then we came down here. So we moved down from a high of 45.66 to a low of 31.77. That's a big drop percentage-wise. And now I would say that if we start to trade above this high price, 35.22, this could be a nice trade. I'm kind of liking this. So that's what I might wait for, a close above this high. Right now we're currently trading at 34.50, and because we gapped higher on energy doesn't mean that we can't come back down again. So I'm going to watch this one. Right now we're trading in this range of 31.77 to a high of 35. And if we break out of that range, the high was 35.22. If we break out of this range, I think we can go up and test higher levels. Let's run the Fibonacci on this. So I kind of like this one. Yeah. So right now this breakout point would be the 23.6 Fibonacci retracement. And if we go above there, then we're looking at the next level at 38.2, which is the $37, and the next level at 50%, which is the 38.75 level. So this is what I'm looking for. How is it doing this year? Year to date percent is 36%. All right, let's look at the next one. And let me know if you have any questions on these. And don't forget, I reviewed, I don't know, 60, 70 stocks on Sunday, yesterday, and I came up with the 30 best patterns, both on the weekly and the daily. And that's what I'm showing you now. And I've shared this with you. If you have the dashboard, then you will get these setups right in your dashboard. How do you like that feature, by the way, where I can share the setups with you automatically? Do you like that? I hope you like that. Good. Yeah. Okay. Let's look at Suncor Energy. We gapped higher. So also an energy stock, not surprising. What? Oh my gosh. Okay. Wait. Oh my goodness. Wait a second. What's going on here? Hold on. I have to check something out. Okay, let's look at the next one, BKR, Baker Hughes, also an energy stock, up 25.90%. And this stock is currently trading at 57.59. It closed at 57.56. You see it spiked up to, it spiked up to 59, over 59, and now it's coming back down again. So the market is not liking it. Yeah, so it spiked up right into the wave and then it backed off. So I'm not sure what is going to happen with this one. I put it on here. I do have a trade in this one, and I sold calls against it way too soon, and they expire in August. So I will break even on this trade with the calls sold. And I'm not going to do anything more with this one. I don't really see it. Okay, let's look at consumer cyclical. A consumer cyclical stock up 23.42% this year. Ross Stores. Let's look at this. We're currently trading at 220. We closed at 222. Let's have a look. I'm going to put back the wave and the tunnel and the bungees and the awesome oscillator because it's so awesome. Let's have a look. The Ross stores has been really, really consistent. It's a high price stock. We did have really nice divergence on the way up. You can see we have a higher peak in the awesome oscillator and then a lower peak, a lower high. And then we had this brutal sell-off, which we would be prepared for if we were wavy tunnel traders. And if we were long, we would know that once we went below the wave, we would likely be targeting the tunnel, which we did. And now we've bounced off of that. So, but we did not have a correction like I like to have. So I'm thinking that maybe this is I don't know what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that if we don't make new highs, then we could pause and come back down again for an ABC. I'm not sure. So maybe this is a do nothing, but this really is a beautiful uptrend. And even if you are suspecting another leg to the correction, down here, it's a good first buy because you are going to most likely going to make some money on it as long as we, watch it carefully. Our stop is always going to be below the lows. And then if we fail to make new highs or we back off at one of these Fibonacci levels, then you've still made some money. Let's just run the Fibonacci. Can I just... No, I can't. I wanted to move this down. Okay, let's just get rid of this and we'll run the Fibonacci from here to here. We're at 50% right now. Well, not quite. 50% is 225. We went as high as 223.70. Yeah. So not quite. And I don't know if I've gotten this right anyway, because I really can't see where I'm putting this hot. I don't have it snapping into place, I think. Yeah, it's not quite at the 50% mark. Yeah, this is a high price stock anyway. So it's a good one to watch. I mean, when you have this kind of an impulsive move up, you want to look for some kind of a pullback. And then if we pause and start to head up again, it could be it could be interesting. All right, let's look at the next stock, Digital Trust Realty. We're down a couple dollars. So this is a nice corrective move down. Let's just open this up and see what it looks like. Yeah, it's not really my fave because it's not a long-term uptrend. So we came down, we moved up, we haven't come down yet. Yeah. Yeah, we could move higher. We could trade sideways. It's not going to be a momentum stock, that's for sure. If anything, it will be a sideways stock, and then you could still make money on a sideways stock by selling puts below the low, for example, or doing a bull call spread lower down, but you'd have to see what the premiums are. So here's ConocoPhillips, and that's up 16.48% for the year. And notice how this daily trend is sideways. It's sideways, it's yellow, moving sideways over here, and the weekly trend is up. It's sideways because the wave is in the tunnel. What I don't want to see is the wave crossing down below the tunnel, but we have popped higher because of energy prices. We're now $3, we're at 112.22. That's the current market. We closed at 109.04. Yeah. So I'd like to see us, if we are going to go up, I would like to see us go above the wave, and we're right in the wave right now. Yeah. So that's a potential trade as well. We'll just do a few more. And are there any, and if you have any stocks that you would like me to take a look at, please type it in the chat and I'll take a look at them. Doesn't have to be on this list. It can be anything, and we can just analyze it together. Okay. So this is Exxon Mobil. So again, this popped up 144. I mean, all of these stocks were, they were up. These are moving just from the Middle East stuff going on. So it was up and then it came down, stability, risk off, and then up, risk on. I mean, this is what's going on. Inflation numbers out tomorrow and the next day. Yeah. I know that there are some analyst reports out that maybe energy prices into the end of the year will stabilize, move higher, and then perhaps after year end, energy prices will start to come down again. But that's not based on the geopolitical situation. That's more based on inflation. You know that energy prices feed into inflation. It's all tied together. It affects inflation, and that's why we have to look at the numbers tomorrow, the CPI and the PPI on Wednesday. Okay, let's look at a non-energy sector, industrials, ITT. So we're currently trading at 193, 195. This is a nice looking chart, I think. Let's just see. Yeah, beautiful. I mean, a little bit choppy, but we have a very, very solid uptrend. And notice every time we come back to the tunnel, it just comes back up again. We come back to the tunnel. We come back to the tunnel. Very interesting. And now we are below the tunnel. We came down below the tunnel because price has flattened out a bit, but that's fine. And this is a similar pattern to what I was looking at before, where we could have the A wave, B wave, C wave, I don't know, or A, B, C rather. That's fine too. Yeah, this looks good, this stock. Let's try to pick a lower price stock. Let me see if we have any. Okay, BJ. Let's go to BJ at $88. Currently trading at $89.92. Let's look at BJ. This is a weekly setup. Let's start with the daily first. I said that when we have a weekly setup, the daily will most likely be in a downtrend. And it is. The wave is below the tunnel. So let's change this to the weekly. Whoops. Up here. And then open it up again. And like that, like that. Okay. Yeah. I mean, look at this. This is a very nice uptrend. Beautiful uptrend. A nice three-wave move down below the tunnel. We're now right in the middle of the wave. And this could be interesting. Yeah. To make money, we don't need it to be a strong momentum stock. This is not a momentum stock. We don't need it to be that. We need it to be a stable stock. And that looks like a stable stock to me. So not bad. Okay. Not bad. But yeah. Let's look at, what time is it? We'll look at just a couple more. And these are the weekly categories, I guess. Oh, this is okay. Yeah, let me just show you this one. This is a weekly, and see it up arrow 14. That's because it traded sideways. We went up, we came down, and now we're, we traded up again. This is a low price stock, $29. So this signal occurred over here, and we are 14 candles into it. So I just wanted to illustrate that not all patterns are created equal. We don't have to act on this, but this is a really nice long-term uptrend. I mean, it could be interesting. Could be interesting. Use your Fibonacci levels to see how interesting it is. And let's just see if there is any more. Let's go to, let me just have a quick peek at KR. Okay, the Kroger Co. This is also a nice long uptrend. Yeah, I mean, this doesn't look bad either. That's also a weekly chart. And then on the next page, let's see if we recognize anything. Well, we certainly do recognize some things. Look what we have here. We have MasterCard, we have Microsoft, and we have Netflix. So and Baba, let's have a look at those. CME, we have a lot. But this is an expensive stock, MasterCard. It's trading $10 higher than where we closed it. But look at how beautiful this pattern is. Yeah, beautiful. We're up from this closing price at 491. We're now up to 536. All right, well, that's that. Let's look at Microsoft, which has not been performing well this year, down 20% year to date. Well, let's have a look. We're up $7 from the close on Friday. And this was a beautiful, look at this. I want to show you this. This is really, we have had so many buy signals in Microsoft, starting with this one. Look at this beautiful buy signal. And then we moved higher. And then we had another three-wave move. Look at this beautiful buy signal. And then we made a new high again. And then we're having a very weird correction. Okay, this is a very weird correction. And are we going to move higher from here? Well, that's the big question. But we had three opportunities prior, well, two major opportunities prior to this right now. So this is setting up again. Let's see how it plays itself out. Now, Netflix is interesting. Currently trading at 74.88, so we're just up a little bit from the close. Yeah, Netflix. Nice uptrend. This is the weekly chart, so nice strong uptrend. Huge move down. Let's run the Fibonacci to see how far it actually corrected. Let's do that. And let's just get rid of this so we can see what we're doing. I'm interested to see what this level is, this Fibonacci level is. So I'm going to run this from swing high to swing low. I'm catching this red. Here, let's open it up so we can see. Okay. Let me see if I can adjust it. All right. I mean, it looks okay. This is 0. and up here is 100%. It might not be exact. And we came up to 50%, just wicked 50%, and then came down again. So these numbers work. These Fibonacci numbers work. Now we have to see if we start to head back up again. We wanted to first close above the filter as a starting point. Okay, that's Netflix. We wanted to close above the filter, this green line, as a starting point. You just have a quick peek at BABA, consumer cyclical. Yeah, we're trading a little bit higher than the close. So yeah, I mean, this is also a nice pattern. All right. Do we have any other questions? If not, then I shared the watch list with all of you. It's called 713 Swing Trades Daily and Weekly Longs. So have a look at these again and decide which ones, if any, you would like to trade on. The dashboard scanner can look at it, a lot of other setups as well, but I like this setup very, very much, the Breakout 4 daily and weekly. And that's about it. So thanks very much, everybody, and we will see you next week.